I'm all in.
Uh-oh. He has gone all in, and Harder not liking that. Afraid the guy might have kings full or flop 3-7.
The level of play in these games for the stakes that we're playing is pretty surprising. I would say it's about the equivalent of maybe a live 1-3 game at a big property here in Vegas.
Yeah, so one of the cool features for the games in WPT Global is that they limit the number of professional players to 2 per table. So you can hop in there and expect a very fair and beatable lineup.
I think I'm up about 20,000 in the cash games the last 3 days or so.
Fun cash games, can't really overstate it.
You're going to start at 2,000 blinds, so 6 and 12. The cards are in the air. Let's go to the felt.
Well, there you see our chip leaders. Steve Brackesy, 39-year-old pro out of Waltham, Massachusetts, out in front. Christian Harder, tough pro from Annapolis, Maryland, in second place.
All right, action going to Bob Carbone, the pawn shop man. Learned poker at a WPT boot camp. Now he's competing for the big bucks here. He's going to fold his hand. Andy Frankenberger.
Well, he's the man everybody's watching at this final table, going for a second WPT title, the reigning WPT Player of the Year.
Yep, he's got ace, deuce of diamonds, and he's raised to 30,000.
Emergency position. Eli Berg goes out.
Brackesy and Daniel Santoro also going away, and now it's on Christian Harder, and he's picked up the weapons of mass destruction. The pair of aces on the very first hand, Mike.
Incredible. First deal at the final table, you're in the big blind. A guy is raised, you look down and find 2 aces.
Looks like a re-raise.
He's going to pop it back up, 72,000 into Andy.
Andy Frankenberger better be very careful here. He's an aggressive player, but his day could end early if he gets crazy with this hand.
He's got enough money to speculate here, you would think, but no, he's going to release, and that's a great fold by him.
Andy going for a second WPT title tonight. He's the reigning WPT Player of the Year. And that's a high honor as you can get out here on the World Poker Tour to perform better than the entire poker world over the course of a season.
No one gave him much respect. You know, he came out of the stock market business and Wall Street, and they just thought he was an amateur player, but he has proven them so wrong. All right, action on Andy, this time with a king-5. Won't play that hand. Here's the ER Dr. Eli Berg. He also goes away. Stephen Brackesy out.
Now it's on the pro now. 25-year-old Daniel Santoro with the pitiful 9-deuce offsuit.
He's also got the whole Beatles Let It Be type look with the hair and the mustache. And he is going to raise with a junk hand. Makes it 47,000 to go. Christian out, and the pawn man, Bob Carbone, with a king-9.
What a story he is. He got in this tournament on a $250 satellite. On poker for 26 years.
Learned his poker at a WPT boot camp. He's going to raise it, makes it 47,000 to go. Back on Santoro.
He obviously sensed weakness. Came back over the top with a king-9 offsuit, but incredibly, Carbone is being called here by Santoro's 9-deuce.
Flop comes up Jack-4 deuce. Santoro picking up deuces. Carbone nothing.
40.
Carbone's going to make the continuation bet. Sticking out 40,000. Will it work? Santoro not going anywhere. He's made this call. Just deuces.
Well, the 9-deuce before the flop, you flop some of it, so you do make the call. An ace comes off.
Helps neither player. Bob going to check.
It's on check, check. Now a 3 comes off and another club as well.
Check. I'll check.
They're happy to check again, and Daniel Santoro going to slop in there with a pair of deuces and win this pot.
Well, he is going to be shocked to win this pot with 2 deuces. Right now, the pawnbroker saying to himself, I can't believe this young guy called my re-raise with a 9-deuce offsuit.
Playing blackjack, you know?
What is going on here? And there you see the new Royal Flush Girl Social Bar. Club WPT VIP members get privileged seating at these Royal Flush Girl bars, so it pays to be a Club WPT VIP member.
It is a great addition we have here on season 10. Back to the table, Eli Berg, an ER doctor, father of 5, picks up king, queen.
Got 4 boys and a girl. Plays a fair amount of poker. His 15th WPT event, his second cash, first final table.
And the doctor is going to fire it, looks like.
Going to raise right under the gun. Makes it 36,000 to go.
Even Brackesy out. Let it be, man.
Down to Santoro. Won the last spot with a 9 deuce, but folds a 10-9 here.
Now it's on Christian Harder. And he looks down at, oh man, can you believe this? Again!
Incredible.
Pair of aces twice.
You're supposed to pick up 2 aces on average once every 220 hands. He's had them twice already at this final table.
He has been raised, and this time he's just going to call, probably because Andy folded last time when he had aces. Now he's going to try to slow play it.
Well, dangerous play in my mind, because now the blinds are priced to come in, so now you got to beat a couple players.
Bob out.
Rather than just one.
Andy is going to call.
Well, Frankenberger does make the call out of the big blind, so let's see how this slow play works out for Harder. Well, so far, so good as it comes king 7-7. Frankenberger checks.
Eli hits a pair of kings. This could be beautiful for Christian Harder.
The doctor could get operated on here. Looks like a good flop for him. He's got to think the only way he can be beat here is if somebody flopped 3 sevens. Not going to put somebody on an ace king or 2 aces because nobody raised before the flop, so he's got to like this flop.
He's bet 73,000. Christian, of course, with the overpair. He's just going to massage him, makes the call.
So Christian again does not raise with the 2 aces.
Andy out.
Just calls.
Yep, going to the turn. This is dangerous territory.
The 10 comes off.
Your doctor is going to check.
I think Christian's going to put him on a 7. Yes, there's a chance he could have 2 kings, but
104,000 by Christian with the aces.
I'm all in.
Uh-oh.
he has gone all in, and Harder not liking that. Afraid the guy might have kings 4 or flop 3 sevens.
I call.
But he makes the reluctant call, and he's going to love it. Christian out in front with the aces, and the ER doctor is going to need a transfusion or a very lucky river card.
Well, you're right about that, but you can't blame him for how he played this hand.
Nice hand, Christian.
Because Harder slow played his aces before the flop and on the flop.
I thought you were going to say.
You camouflage them about as good as you can. And unfortunately for the doctor, it could spell big trouble.
Yep, down to the river. Here we go.
Well, the doctor on the respirator right now. Got to catch a king to stay alive, or he'll be heading back to the emergency room.
Only knew I had
card.
the first time.
Can Eli Berg get lucky?
Nope. That's a 7. Even though Eli made 7 full of kings, that's not good enough. As Christian Harder had the 2 aces.
Yeah, tough beat. Fine gentlemen. Out, 6th place, Eli Berg.
All right, Christian.
The doctor is going to suture up 83,000. Just like that, we are down to 5. And right now, Eli is over to talk to Matt Savage.
Well, Eli, you didn't quite go like you wanted today, but, you know, you got a lot of back at home to get back to.
Yeah, you know, it was very short, but that's what happens sometimes, and had a great time getting here. You know, hope to come back someday and wish everyone luck and had a great time. So.
Well, I'm sure we'll see you again on the World Poker Tour. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you.
The level of play in these games for the stakes that we're playing is pretty surprising. I would say it's about the equivalent of maybe a live 1-3 game at a big property here in Vegas.
Yeah, so one of the cool features for the games in WPT Global is that they limit the number of professional players to 2 per table. So you can hop in there and expect a very fair and beatable lineup.
I think I'm up about 20,000 in the cash games the last 3 days or so.
Fun cash games, can't really overstate it.
Back to the felt we go. 5 players remaining.
Well, there you see the chip count to the players, and with that last hand, Christian Harder has taken the chip lead at this final table. And Vince, the book says never slow play your aces, re-raise them before the flop, you can stream down the field. Had Christian Harder done that there's a chance the doctor might have thrown the king-queen away, and he wouldn't have made nearly that much money, so obviously it does pay to slow play aces sometimes.
Get the books. Back to the table we go. A few folds around to Stephen Brackesy, a poker pro out of Waltham, Massachusetts.
Yeah, he hasn't played a hand yet at this final table, and here he comes in with a 5 deuce.
Yep.
He is in the small blind. Just raising it to try to pick up the blind.
Makes it 38,000, and now Daniel Santoro with just an 8-7. is going to invest a little bit more, makes the call. Battle of the blinds, going at it. And the flop comes up 10-7-3. Santoro hitting a pair of sevens. Brackesy with nothing.
He's going to make the continuation bet.
I bet 45,000 with nothing. Santoro getting a piece of that, and he's not going anywhere. He's going to make this call.
Doesn't want to re-raise. And get raised out of the pot.
We go to the turn, 6 of clubs.
This does give Steven a gut shot straight draw. 4 would give him a straight, but that is all he can win the pot with.
Well, he's been very selective so far tonight. So he's hoping that his image at the table will win this pot. He's betting again, 105,000.
Well, obviously he can win the pot by betting the guy out of the pot, but that's not happening as Santoro makes the call here because he also has a straight draw now.
And a pair.
But the jack of hearts comes off, so neither player going to be happy to see that card.
Brackesy finally disillusioned, checking there.
Just waves the white flag. Cannot win the pot checking.
And Santoro checking as well. Brackesy finally getting involved. Unfortunately, things did not work out the way we wanted. He's a tough local pro here at Foxwoods. Taking a shot here, but not winning that one. And look at those three, Manny, Mo, and Mac there.
Well, the guy on the right is Alan Sternberg, a WPT champion from the Bay 101 tournament last year. He's here rooting on his buddy Santoro.
All right, back to the play. Bob Carbone first to play. Bob's going to look down at 7-3 of hearts. Rejects that hand.
The reigning WPT player of the year, Andy Frankenberger. He's down to queen 9.
And now Stephen Brackesy with just a jack 10.
And he's going to raise it on the button to 40,000.
Raise to 40.
Daniel Santoro with a queen 9.
Well, he's a guy that likes to play a lot of pots. See what he's going to do with this hand.
Yep, he's in the small blind. You just don't want to be pickpocketed all the time. And he's going to make this call. Into Christian Harder, who folds his hand. So we have two-way action between Daniel and Steven. Here come the first three.
The flop comes ace, king, 10 with 2 hearts.
Brackesy picking up a piece of that with the 10s. Daniel going to check.
Brackesy checks behind him, even though he's got 2 10s in the straight draw.
7 on the turn, helping neither player.
Well, Santoro says, hey, this guy didn't bet on the flop. Maybe he's got a small pair. Maybe if I bet, I can take it away from him. And that's what he's going to do. Takes a stab at the pot. Bets the gut shot straight draw.
Yeah, 40,000.
Well, Brackesy's got the 2 10s and the straight draw. And he's going to make the call.
Wow, nice stubborn call by Brackesy.
3 of diamonds comes off.
No help for either player. Now will Daniel attempt one more bluff here? Nope.
He's going to check.
Queen high.
Brackesy checks as well. And Brackesy's going to be very proud of himself for calling with just 10s and taking down his pot.
As a former construction worker, Brackesy adds to his toolbox.
There's a couple lucky guys at the Royal Flush Girls Social Bar enjoying the moment here tonight. Daniel Santoro.
Action's back on him. He
Oh,
looks down
right,
at ace, 2 of diamonds.
Thank you. I'm like,
This young guy, 25 years old, likes to play a lot of pots.
I didn't know that's all tones.
And again, he's getting chips out.
Gonna raise it under the gun here, makes it 36,000 to go.
Christian out, the pawn shop man. Bob Carbone out. Andy not playing.
Brackesy gonna make the call here with the 3-4 of hearts.
And here we go with the flop.
The flop comes 9-7-5 with 2 hearts. A gut shot straight flush draw for Brackesy. Nice flop for him. See how he plays it. Well, it looks like he's going to lead right out and bet here. Like most guys would check here. The guy made a continuation bet, just opened the blade with this kind of draw. But Brackesy leading right out, and obviously this flop nowhere near hitting Santoro, so it'll be an easy getaway for him. He does lay it down, so Brackesy does pick up that pot.
Yep, he's a local. Plays only in Foxwoods. Never been to Las Vegas, and he is tough. 5 players remain going after big money here tonight at Foxwoods. Christian Harder first to act. Looks down at the jack 8 of diamonds. A little raise makes it 36,000 to go.
He's the chip leader.
Bob Carbone right behind him.
Amateur pawnbroker. Gonna get away from this hand.
Now Mr. Frankenberger. Whoa, big ace-king for Andy.
Just the kind of hand Andy's looking for right now. He's on the short stack with 5 players left. The question is, does he raise a little or does he raise a lot? Definitely gonna raise.
He's got a gigantic
All in.
hand. Ace-king, he says all in.
Well, there's your answer. He's shipping it.
Brackesy out. Now Daniel Santoro also goes away. Will he get the action though from Christian,
300.
who just has a jack-8 of diamonds?
Now, the WPT Player of the Year is not the guy you're looking to double up in this spot. So Arthur gonna fold the jack-8. And Andy Frankenberger's dreams of winning a second WPT title tonight are still alive.
Action going to the pawn shop, man. Bob Carbone.
He looks down at an ace-4 offsuit here. And he's a 62-year-old amateur. Been in the pawnbroking business for 26 years. Got in this tournament by winning a $250 set.
36.
He is going to raise it up under the gun here with the ace-4 offsuit.
Yeah, makes it 36,000 to go. And now Andy Frankenberger going to fold Stephen Brackesy with an attractive king-jack of diamonds here.
He's on the button, in position, pretty good hand, so going to make the call to see a flop.
Santoro out as well as Christian Harder, so we have two-way action.
Flop comes 10-7-4, so the pawnbrokers flop bottom pair.
Come on.
Top kicker, and he's moved all in. Brackesy missing that flop, obviously going to go out.
So Bob Carbone with a gutsy play there. Pushing all in, taking the chips down. That's got to make him happy.
Well, I'll tell you, Vince, most are wow that he made it to this final table, but you got to love it. This guy's 62 years old, an amateur player. He's a pawnbroker. Well, most of the dealings he does with poker players when they're bringing in their stuff to hock to get a bankroll to go back and play on. And yet here he is at the final table tonight going for this title.
The level of play in these games for the stakes that we're playing is pretty surprising. I would say it's about the equivalent of maybe a live 1-3 game at a big property here in Vegas.
Yeah, so one of the cool features for the games in WPT Global is that they limit the number of professional players to 2 per table. So you can hop in there and expect a very fair and beatable lineup.
I think I'm up about 20,000 in the cash games the last 3 days or so.
Fun cash games, can't really overstate it.
All right, action on Andy.
Frankenberger going out.
Stephen Brackesy out as well. Now Daniel Santoro.
2009. It was 2009.
Queen jack of diamonds on the button.
Wasn't old enough in 2007.
Obviously going to raise with this hand.
That makes it 36,000 to go. Now Christian Harder behind him. And the small blind peeks down at an ace-4 of hearts.
Kind of hand you like to see a flop. And obviously Harder wants to see a flop, so he makes the call.
Now Bob Carbone.
I think it called.
You're on fire.
Bob with a 10-8, but he's got money in there already, but no, he releases his hand.
It's about 100,000 out there. Would have cost him 20,000 to call, so a lot of guys would have been priced in there to make that call. Oh, when it comes 8-8-7, the pawn shop man missed his chance to cash a ticket here.
Boy, did he ever. And they both check. And a queen on the turn. That hits Daniel Santoro.
Harder checks the ace high.
Daniel now with top pair of queens.
He's reaching for some betting chips. Gonna bet 40,000. Only about 40% of the pot. So Harder gonna make the call with the ace high. Thinking the ace high might be the best hand.
Deuce of spades on the river, helping neither player. Christian checking again. He's got just ace high. Daniel with queens.
Guy calls you on the turn. 2 eights out there, and now 3 spades come out. Some players would be leery about betting on the river, but not Santoro. He believes his queens are the best hand, so he's going to bet 100,000.
100,000. Will Christian get tricky here?
He's thinking about just calling with the ace high. Thinks it might be the best hand.
Might be a big mistake. Looks around
and finally comes to his senses, folds his hand.
Daniel Santoro takes down the pot, and we have a three-way race for the chip lead amongst Christian, Steven, and Daniel.